So on desktop, let's create a project folder named as CRUD app. So this is our Flask project folder. Every source code will be in this folder. Okay. Right, you better create it on desktop. Right, so here I want to create a new folder and I give the name static, which is special for storing static files, which are images, CSS, and JavaScript. Then after I create another folder named as templates, which is special for storing the HTML template, right? So let me open in resource, then I copy the resource, which are CSS, Bootstrap, fonts, JavaScript, and images. I pasted them in static. As I told you, the meaning of static files, this is the collection of all CSS, JavaScript, and images. Okay, whatever video. So I'm using Visual Studio Code. Then I click on File, then open folder. I want to add the project folder named CRUD app in a Visual Studio Code. So if you want to go with me, make sure you have Visual Studio Code installed in your computer. So I create a new file named as app.py. Okay, so that is the file will store all of Flask backend source code. So I'm going to log in my PHP admin. The username is root and the password is blah blah. So I hope you have already installed the XAMPP and you have PHP and Apache running. Okay, so let me create a table named students. Before, let me create a database which is a CRUD. Okay, so that's it. Then inside of database, I am going to create table named as students. Right, so this is MySQL command for creating a table, okay, and adding or inserting the information in the table. I think there is something wrong. I would choose to delete or to drop the table. Then after I can see there is no data. So what I would like to do is to drop the table, then recreate the table. Okay, and the command to drop the table is drop table and the name of the table, which is students. Okay, yes, I want to drop this table. Right, so let me recreate a new table. Okay, dismiss the alert, dismiss the alert. Now you can see the table is created and the information are inserted in table. So what I can do here, let me drop some few rows in table students. Okay, so let me click delete. Okay, yes, I want to delete. Okay, then this is app.py, which is special for the backend Flask source code. Okay, so as I told you, make sure that Apache and the MySQL are running, as we are using Apache web server and the MySQL backend database. So here I start to import some information. I start importing some important libraries. So from Flask, import Flask, but also make sure that Flask is already installed in your computer. Then a render template. I would like it to import request URL for and a flash. Get to flash the messages. Right. Then after that, from Flask MySQL DB, I would like to import MySQL. I can see something is wrong. Seems like Flask MySQL DB is not installed, though I installed it in Anaconda. So let me call on app is equal to Flask, then double underscore name, right? So app.secret key is equal to many random bytes. Okay, many random bytes. So app.config. Okay, so we want to make the database MySQL database configuration. So MySQL host, this is local host, right? Okay, let me copy and paste it multiple times. So MySQL user is root, and MySQL password is Motec app 1234. I'm at tech at P1234. And MySQL DB is the database. We created it in PHP MyAdmin, which is CRUD. Alright. So this is a database name. Okay, I think why does the Visual Studio Code highlight this as uninstalled packages while it is installed? Okay, let me try out to install it so as it can be recognized by Visual Studio Code. So I would like to issue the command, which is pip install Flask MySQL DB. So once I press enter, right, once I press enter, I can see a requirement is already satisfied. It means it is installed, but the problem is the Visual Studio Code can't see the package, right? So by that fact, I'll use Anaconda terminal, okay, to run this project, because the Flask MySQL DB is recognized in Anaconda. So here MySQL is equal to MySQL bracket app. So at app.root, I specify the root of view or the root of function on the browser. Then underneath of path is the function. Okay, so if you have ever coded in Django, so app.root, this is the root of view specified in urls.py, and the def index is the view. Okay, that's it. So def index call is equal to MySQL connection.cursor. This is for making the connection to the MySQL backend database. So call.execute, we want to execute the call, and the call is select all from students. We want to select all information from table student, and the data is equal to call, okay, call.fetch all means we want to fetch everything. Then after fetching everything, we close the connection to the database. Okay, so we have high discipline on using the database resource. We close or we terminate the connection to the database whenever we don't feel like using the resource of or the resource from the database. So here return a render template index.html, then students is equal to data. Okay, and if double underscore name double underscore is equal to double underscore main, okay, app dot run bracket, then debug is equal to true. Okay, as I told you that I'm using Anaconda prompt because the MySQL DB library is not recognized on Visual Studio Code. So once I run by using a Visual Studio Code terminal, it will print or it will display some errors. Okay, so what you want to do here is to run the project via Anaconda terminal. So this is Anaconda terminal. Then I change the directory to project directory. Okay, then the next thing I can do here is okay, let me create the index.html. Okay, and then here I can say not document but take sky. Okay, hi Mose as a default page. Then let me come on Anaconda terminal. Let me increase the font size of terminal so as it can be user-friendly for you to see. Okay, so the command to run the Flask server is python app.py. Actually, it is Python and then the name of your Python file or your Python script. You can see something's wrong here. It should be double equal sign. Okay, let me try out to rerun. I can see nothing shows up. Okay. Okay, so here it should be main. Okay. Main. Then let me rerun the Python Flask server. You can see Python Flask server is successful running on port number 5000. Okay, I think the browser is responding slow. You can see there is error here. Execute, I think E is forgotten, so it should be execute, not execute. Execute. Okay, then Control S to save the changes. Once I refresh, you can see hi Mose. So this is hello world's program in a Python Flask. Okay, hello world's program in a Flask. Okay, so in this project we are going to use Bootstrap 4. Okay, so let me copy the link of Bootstrap 4. Okay, then you paste it underneath of title. Okay, using Bootstrap 4, and we are using Bootstrap link, online Bootstrap link. So if you are using Bootstrap 4 online link, make sure you are connected to the internet. Unless otherwise, you find the offline link of Bootstrap 4. Right? So as you can be flexible in coding whether you are online or you are offline. Okay, let me create a div here with class container fluid. Okay, call sm2, call sm8, and call sm2. Okay, so heading 1, the class is text center, alert, 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 alert danger, then a Python Flask CRUD application. Okay, so let me refresh here. Okay. Let me delete the hello world heading 1. So here I think one alert is forgotten, and then let me refresh the browser. Yes, perfect. Perfect. I want it to look like this. Perfect. Okay. So content goes here. This is normal HTML comment. And the content ends here. Okay, so the all content of our Python Flask CRUD application with MySQL in the backend database is going to be placed in div class called SM80. So student list, this is heading to student list button, add student, cross is button primal, pull right. So I wanted the button to float on the right hand side of our table hover. Okay, data toggle is equal to model data target, the ID of pop-up model, which is my ID. So let me refresh, so it should look like this. Okay, bracelet percentage sign with messages is equal to get flashed messages. Okay, if messages for messages in messages alert success, okay, so the button the type is equal to button, the cross is okay, button class cross data dismiss alert area spam area hidden true. And with, so I refresh the browser. Okay. So this is for displaying our message when the action is on success. I mean, if the data is successfully deleted from the database, or if information is successful inserted in database. So let's create a table for fetching all information of students from the database. So the table has the class is equal to table hover. The scope is called so what I can do here is just changing the name of columns. Like the first column can be SN, the second column can be name, the third is email, and the fourth is phone. I think one column is forgotten, which is action. Yes, perfect. So let me create the table body in which I'm going to display the rows of table student. So for row in students, okay, double bracers, row, okay, so row dot 0, row dot 1, row dot 2, and row dot 3. Okay, Let me create the edit and the delete button. Okay, our button. So let me refresh here. You can see there is error and 4. So let me refresh the browser. Still there is error. Somewhere I have written door instead of row. Okay, so this is row. Then let me Control S to save the changes. Wow, this is a print. Now I can see the student list from MySQL backend database. Okay, I think something is wrong here. Okay, you can see the table is looking pretty. So if we can fetch information from MySQL backend database, the next thing we should focus at is how we can add the information in the database by using the pop-up model, right? So this is read. CRUD application sum up create information, which is saving information to the database. Read, which is this we have done or we have implemented just to select information from the database and display them on the browser. So I'm trying out to put a bootstrap offline link. Okay, so this is how you can set a static file in Flask. So you are double less bracket, then URL underscore for static, comma, then the file name. Okay, so once I refresh, you can see this offline bootstrap makes our interface unattractive. So we'll carry on with offline link of Bootstrap 4. So I'm going to remove it. Okay. The button style is okay. Once I click the pop-up model, nothing show up here. I think I need to do something extra. So this is end 4. Enter a new student. So I want to place here the pop-up model for adding new student in database. Okay, so never scared. This is just a simple pop-up model. It has no a lot of story to talk. I hope you know how you can create a Bootstrap pop-up model. So these are the source code. I'll not read them all. Okay. So here the form pop-up. So let me kill on creating the pop-up model. You can see it is not attractive. Okay. So if I refresh, you can see here the pop-up model has only one input from input. Okay. So what I can do here, so here it should be text. Let me delete label 4 and the remaining with only label. Then I can copy it and paste it. Okay, so there it was Name here, it is email. After email is phone number. Full name. The phone number. Let me refresh. If I click here, you can see full name, email, and phone number. So what you need here is button. Okay, so you need a button. Enter full name, enter email, then enter the phone number. Okay, let me refresh here, and once I click here, you can see enter full name, enter email, and enter the phone number. So what I can do here, I want button, awesome button. So let me copy this. Okay, I paste here the button, and I edited the name of button from confirm query to save. So once I click here, you can see how beautiful is our pop-up model looking like. Okay, model. So I want the model header, short beautiful model header. Okay, so I would you like you to copy the model header for our add student pop-up model. Okay, I want to beautiful pop-up model header. Okay, so please add the no student. Okay, so once I refresh the browser, you can see add the no student. Now we can see we have awesome add student pop-up model. Okay, So the purpose of trying out to use the center tag is because I want to center the Bootstrap pop-up model header. Okay. So the name is name, email is email, and the phone number is phone. So you can see we are done with the front end part of Arduino student pop-up model. What we needed to do here is to implement the backend, which is Python Flask, for receiving information from Flask from HTML form to Flask MySQL backend. So here I start with the root of function, which is insert. Okay, the function is insert. If request dot method is equal to post. So if request dot method is equal to post, the flash message is data inserted successful. Okay, then here, this is how you can receive the information from HTML form. So it is a request.form. In the Django, it is a request.method. But in Python Flask, this is request.form, then the name of your input form. Okay, and I have email, name, and a phone. So after receiving the name, email, phone, so we call the connection of MySQL database, then we prepare the insert MySQL command for saving the information in MySQL backend database. So the command is insert into students name, email, and a phone. Values is s, values percentage s, percentage s, percentage s. The name, email, and the phone. So once the query is executed is successful, so we need to redirect it to the index, which is main page. Okay, so inside your form, I needed to put the action, which is Python Flask key path of a function, and the method of a form, which is post. So the action of a form is URL for insert. Okay, so let me try out to save the information of no student. Once I click save, you can see data inserted is successful. So now we are able to perform the insert operation, read or fetch information from the database. So we have literally we have remained with only two functionality, which is edit and delete. How can we edit information of a student by using pop-up model, and how we can delete the information of a student? So as you can see, we can save as more student as we want. Okay, so I'm going to create the delete Python Flask function, which included the path, which is URL for the function. Okay, and the function which in the Django we call it view. Okay, so the methods is get, so it get ID So that is a flash message once an action is successful completed. So we can call the MySQL connection and execute the statement delete from students where id is equal to id data, okay, which is received from user. MySQL connection dot commit to commit the action, okay, then return a redirect URL for index. Okay, let me put the URL path delete, then double bracelets row.0 to take the ID of student, on click return confirm, are you sure you want to delete? So let me refresh. Okay, I can see there is error and the Flask server is terminated. So let me check out what is the cause of an error. Okay, Ryan 38. So let me see here. So delete string ID data. Okay. So let me try out to run once again. You can see the Flask server is successful learning. Once I click delete, you can see we are able to perform the delete functionality, and we receive the flash message delete. So once I click add student, I can see it is impossible. Why can't I add no student? Let's troubleshoot this and see what the cause. So still I can't add the student pop-up model. Okay. Okay. Let me refresh. Once I click add, still I can no longer add the student pop-up model. So let me refresh. Once I click add, still I cannot add. What is the cause? So the next thing I'm going to try to do is to remove the add student pop-up model from Python Flask loop. Okay, putting it outside, because if we put it inside of the loop, it will not display, because it will be hidden by Flask front end loop or conditions. Let me click add student. Still I can't. Okay, so I would like you to copy the model. Still I cannot add. So after refresh, if I click add student, Let me inspect the source code. Okay, I'm thinking of linking the jQuery with offline jQuery file connection. Okay, so let me put the offline link of jQuery just to see what is the cause of this error. Okay. I can edit, insert, and delete. Okay. Okay. So bootstrap for pull right. So you can see it's not a pull right but a float right. Okay. So let me refresh the browser. Okay. You can see I can add no student. Okay, you can see even if when I minimize the browser, because it is created by Bootstrap, you can see it is responsive. Okay, so this is Flask CRUD application which can perform create, edit, read, and delete. So do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for the next video update. I hope you have enjoyed a lot. Okay.